So hello everybody, welcome back. I hope that you like this video, that you find it helpful somehow. So anyway, grab your drink. I hope it's not hot, because otherwise you might spit it out and then I'm not responsible for that one. So having said that, then if you have a snack like a popcorn or something like that, I'm not responsible if you choke yourself on it while I am talking to you. But frankly, it's insane, the whole situation. So having said that, then then first of all, update. I have not uploaded videos since November. It's not that I have not made videos, it's just that I can't upload them. And every single time that I'm trying to upload them, then everything changes, and then I'm like, this news or this thing is so old. I'm kind of like, what? Why am I doing this one? So it's insane. Keeping up with the situation here in my country, it has to be done almost like hourly, and quite frankly, it's insane. The anxiety levels that you are dealing with is insane. Now, having said that, then I chose a video. I chose to make one about advices again, because I was supposed to make one per week. Was supposed to be making one per week, and that was the goal. But then again, I did make them, but like I said, I had to delete them. Reason being, yeah, I'm trying very hard to keep a low profile, and it has been very, very, very difficult. Especially because sometimes I am in my own head, and sometimes my head is too dark to be in there alone, and therefore, I'm just hoping that my grandma will show up and then kick me out. And somehow, sometimes she does, by the way, because it's my grandma. She has the right to do whatever the hell she wants. And anyway, she's dead, my grandma. That's why she can go anywhere, and she can have her way with whatever she wants. And the advices that I was going to make are not going to be about politicians and things like this, because otherwise it will become weird. So I'm not going to tell you how the hell to deal with politicians, but I am going to tell you that you need politicians, and therefore you need to figure out how the hell you're going to manage this one. So, question: if I was, when this whole thing started, meaning when I was a teen, and I could go back, and I still choose to be here, given the circumstances, because I'm going to tell you right now that if you go back in time, you're probably going to choose leaving the country immediately. I have mentioned this one before. If you're choosing to leave immediately. If you don't leave like immediately, you will be caught in the second wave or the third wave, and at this point there is going to be a lot of hate and xenophobia and a lot of issues, and then everybody will hate you, and then you finding a job will be more difficult, and then you will face all kinds of horrible, violent death abroad. And so if you don't go in the first wave, my advice, don't go. But if you are going to go, make the first wave, the second wave, maybe the beginning of the third wave. But other than that, no. Otherwise, for some people, waves are going to be difficult to understand, but you will see later. I have a video on that one, I think. If not, then let me know and I will make another one. So anyway, my first advice is, if I was a teen, get your documentation ready, like everything. Because having a documentation ready means 3 years, and I'm not joking, 3 years of you taking documentation. You're thinking, it's just getting a passport. No, it's not. Documentation ready means you get proper work visa, proper money to go abroad, proper placing, proper insurance, and proper everything. And on top of that, if you can apply for a second citizenship, you do that one because it takes a while to take your documentation. So for example, if I wanted to become European, my grandmother used to be Italian. She is the descendant of the direct Italian and an Arabic man. So basically, Middle Eastern with an Italian woman. They came here and they had my grandmother, they had everything, and basically my grandmother had a dual passport from her side. In fact, she traveled with an Italian passport and everything. However, because she was born here and because my mom and her family was born in here, they all had Venezuelan passports, but they did not get the Italian passport, even though that they could, meaning my mom. My mom did not get it because she didn't care. Nobody cared. And so, but they could. The law says that they could get an Italian passport because my grandmother had an Italian passport. So my mom needs to get an Italian passport, and after my mom gets the Italian passport, then I can get the Italian passport. However, it also means that the law might change and I might need to learn Italian and all of that. But it is a choice and it is an option if my mom gets the passport. So that being said, this means that you need to go back at least sometimes 2 or 3 generations, go back, and they need to get the documentation. It's not you, it's your parents and grandparents. And then you can just have dual passport. I have seen people that have 3 passports because they have one from their mom's side, one from the place that they are in, and then they also can buy citizenships. And so it's optional, okay? There are passports that you can just buy. And so get documentation. That one can take years. And you will also need lawyers. You will also need to get all your family on board, because let's say that like me, I want to go to Italy, but then let's say that my daughter or my mom said, oh hell no, we're not going to Italy because we don't like it. There is people that goes, oh hell no, I'm not going to that place because I don't like it. And so they will not get it. You might be, if my mom says, I'm not going, I don't want to learn Italian, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that, then I can't get it, even though that it is my right. I can't get it because the one that should be getting it first, my mom, won't do it. So there are going to be people that are like that. There are going to be people that go, I know that I can do it, I know that I can take it, I know, blah, 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 but I won't do it. I don't want to learn German, I don't want to learn this one, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't want to have that one. Therefore, you might have family fights. I have seen that one with other friends. A lot of friends go, my mom doesn't want to have that one because she's kind of like, I'm too old, I don't want to, blah, blah. And then I couldn't get it because my family didn't want to do it, or my dad refused to do it, or my dad didn't want to pay for it, and blah, blah, blah. And therefore, I lost the opportunity to get another passport, and blah, blah, blah. So it takes a while. You might need family cooperation for this one. And if that one is if you choose to leave. If you choose to stay like me, because I don't want to go to another place, then you gotta think in lots and lots and lots of things that you didn't think before. Number one, it will be your location. Your location means everything. 100 out of 100 times, your location means everything. So let me explain. You are in the countryside. Yeah, now you're broke. And now you're worse. And now you are going to be in debt. And now you're going to be blah, blah, blah. And it's not because you're in the countryside. It is because in the countryside right now there are building centers, like those data centers and things like this. And if they build anything like that near you, as in within 5 miles of you, living in that place will guarantee that you will get headaches every single day. You will probably vomit every single day. It also means that you will get absolutely zero water pressure if you get at all. If you get at all, you're probably going to get 10% of the water that you're getting right now through the pipe. It also means that you will not have darkness anymore, because these places look like a Christmas tree 24 hours a day. And then you will also have zero trees and natural things that are the reason why a lot of people go to the countryside. And so if anyone, if you have a location that is great, but then somebody decides to build that thing near you, you're screwed. And now your land, despite the fact that it was worth a lot, now is worth nothing. And the problem is not that the value of the land is nothing. The problem is that the insurance is going to go up, and there is going to be a lot of issues with the services. And the main problem is going to be water. So there are instances in which certain governments are doing absolutely everything that they can to destroy your water supply, either by draining the underground water sources, and this will create a problem because all of your trees will die because somebody is taking the underground water reservoir to move it to another place. And so it is illegal for you to do anything because these people just have that access to that, and now you don't, despite the fact that it is your property. But you can't own the aquifers that are below the surface and things like this, and it's going to be a legal battle that you're going to lose. And without water underground, the trees that are above are going to start dying on you. You will also have severe drought issues. You will have sudden floods issues. You will have a lot of problems with water, and they will all be depending upon your location. And so your location is also going to be key in terms of insurance. And without insurance, it's like you having a body that has no blood in it. So you can have a body that is functioning perfectly. You go and the heart is pumping, the lungs are breathing, everything is okay, but it has no blood in it. And without blood, you die within seconds. Seconds. Reason being, well, how the hell are you going to get oxygen and nutrients and water and everything that you need, despite the fact that everything is perfect? Meaning, you can have everything running perfectly in that place. Everything. The housing, the streets, the lights, the internet, and everything. But you have to understand the impact of insurance. If the insurance company says, oh, hell no, we are not going to insure this particular area, then you're done. You're done. You have literally days before that entire area becomes a wasteland in terms of economical prospects. Reason being, okay, so do you know that the economy's blood is the insurance companies? As in, okay, you're going to hire people, you need insurance. You are going to buy a house, you need insurance. You're going to buy a car, you need insurance. You need insurance. You're going to travel through an airport, you need insurance. You're going to travel with, you need insurance. You need insurance. But you need insurance. But you need insurance. Without the insurance companies, no one will sell your house. Because if something happens to that house, the people that are lending you the money, they need the money back somehow. And they are not going to go and say, oh, I'm going to collect and sell the rubber. The burned grand ashes and all of that. I'm going to sell that, and then I'm going to collect the $100,000 that I lend you. See what I mean? So if you cannot buy or sell houses, cars, boats, whatever it is, you cannot sell it because of that place, then that is going to affect the environment entirely. It also means that you will be liable if you get sick, because if people go, oh, that area has too much pollution, therefore we are not going to insure you. So for example, if you go to certain cities, the air pollution is so bad that if you go, I have asthma, oh, we don't cover that, but I'm dying, yeah, we don't cover that. But I have allergies, pollution is too high, I'm sorry, we don't cover that. And so now, if in a normal situation, legal battles with insurance companies are insane and are like 9 out of 10 times that you have a legal battle with the insurance companies, but at least the blood is there, and therefore at least you can have some sort of balance, okay? But now the insurance goes, oh, we don't even work here. And so then you go kind of like, especially the rich people. Rich people have insurance for even breathing. They go kind of like, oh, I don't like the smell of this thing, so insurance for this, because otherwise we're leaving. And then, you know, there will be insane insurance policies, in terms of you making insurance policies for your pet, for your artwork, for your house, for your structure, for your car, for everything. It's almost like, I think that there will be an alien invasion, and in case that there is an alien invasion, I would like to have enough money to travel to another planet, and then the insurance companies will go, okay, I'll sell you that one. See what I mean? And so the insurance companies are insane. That is an entire video, and I have several videos on that one as well. And so if the insurance companies are not going to work in that area, and what happens if you already have a loan in a house that now is in a high risk area, and now the bank goes, okay, if something happens, how are you going to pay me back? And now you cannot even sell it, because as soon as the insurance companies goes, oh, there is a high probability that that place is damned, like there will be zombies coming out of there. Oh yeah, everybody goes, especially rich people will go, okay, that's high risk, we're leaving. If rich people goes, oh, we're leaving, what do you think happens to the money there? So location is everything. Location means your insurance policies. Your location means pollution. Your location means wind patterns. Your location means water patterns. Your location means earthquakes, means fire patterns, means community, means everything. And so you really, really want to pick the right location. Otherwise, you're kind of screwed. The worst part is that this location importance might vary over time. However, you can take a look at YouTuber channels that are specifically about insurance and all of these things. They have there are people that are passionate about this topic, and they go kind of like, don't go here, don't go here, go here, because this one is better in terms of this and this. There are people that are passionate about this topic. Therefore, if you want to know more about this, then you can go there. And also there are people that will go insane in terms of the legal situation with the data centers, is because if you buy a house and then somebody puts the data centers in your house, and then now you don't have water, now you don't have peace, you don't have this, and you don't have this, that now it's a legal battle. And so you need lawyers, and you need to keep up with legislation. The legislation is not there yet. Legislation is not there for the water supply. The legislation is not there for the data centers. The legislation is not there for the insurance companies. The legislation is not there for a lot of things that are related to these kind of problems that you will face. And there will be a lot of people that will be facing the same thing. And therefore, you need politicians on your side. Problem. politicians do not know what the hell. And second problem, people do not know what the hell. And also people don't trust the politicians, people don't pressure politicians, and people go, you are evil, and therefore I'm not dealing with you, but I'm now dealing with another problem. Therefore now you as a person, as a regular citizen, are dealing with 50 ghosts, not real problems, ghosts. Which is also one of the reasons why women will be better at handling these situations than you as a man. Because women go, oh, I understand what the hell is happening. Because I can see things that a man cannot see. But you as a man go, oh hell no, I'm leaving, that's it. Because this is too insane, what the hell? There is no fixing. I can't fix it. How the hell do you fix a ghost problem? Well, you fix it through community engagement. Now, the other aspect of this is if I was to know this situation, I would have pressured my entire community for getting public transportation going in my location. So I am in a location that is within the city, but I am not in the suburbs per se, but I am in an area that is not near the city center. Sorry, I got coughing. And so my neighborhood used to be middle upper class. Therefore we used to have cars. Like each house had 3, 4, sometimes 6 cars. I mean, remember when I was a teen, if you wanted to buy a Coca-Cola, that was the same price that you would pay for filling up your car with gas twice, and sometimes 3 times. So if you could fill up your entire car with the diesel, the fuel, the gasoline, or whatever you want to call it, 3 times, and buy a Coca-Cola, and that was the same thing, why wouldn't you have 20 cars, And it was insane. Also, remember, when Chavez took power, if you work 2 years in my country, you work 2 years. I graduated when I was from high school when I was 17 or 18, I think. I can't remember. But if I was to work 2 years, I could make enough money to make the down payment for a car, and then I could pay it on the 3rd year full. So if you can buy a car, you work in 3 years. And if you work 2 more years, you can just renew your car and get another one. Why wouldn't you have that? And then, there were people that had 3 and 4 and 5 apartments and things like this, because you could work 5, sometimes 7 years. If you work that much time, you could buy a house and get half of your house in 7 years. So if you save a little bit more, you could pay it off entirely in less than 10 years without needing even a bank. And so the economy was just too perfect. Nobody had a second job. Nobody had, issues on those things. And I remember it clearly. And all of my friends, even the ones that were very, very poor at that time, they were like, oh, I remember we had a TV in every room and we were considered poor. So the economy was doing extremely well at that time. And therefore, the government said, we're going to give you a bus route. Okay? Now, think about you going to space, as in, I'm thinking about moving. No, wait, I'm not sure, so I'm going back. No, wait, I'm going to take one small step. Wait. Do I move this one or oh no, hell, I'm too tired. Kind of like that. It's that kind of a slow process, okay? It's painfully slow process to open a new bus route. What does that mean? Well, you take the bus, public transportation. You creating a new bus route means you need to ask 100 people, every hour or something like this. I don't know, but let's assume that this is kind of like that. You have to ask people, are you going to take the bus? How much are you going to pay? Blah, 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 blah. And then, if you're going to create the route, then you gotta figure out the options, like this street versus that avenue versus that one. This going south or going north. This one, do I want to take it east or west or whatever it is? And then you go kind of like insane creating this thing, because it has to be in a loop, and then it has to connect certain neighborhoods, and it cannot go through certain places because it is too dangerous, like highways or whatever it is, and blah, blah, blah. And therefore, it's insane. You have to resign, you have to redesign, you have to pick the bosses, you have to pick the drivers, you have to pick a lot of things. Then you have to ask people if they want to be there. And at that time, they were going to create a route for my neighborhood. And people in my neighborhood went kind of like, why will I take that? Why will I use public transportation? Why? Okay, so at that time, it sounded great. Except for the fact that when you're going to create a bus route, it takes at least 5 years. 5 freaking years. And then 5 years later, the economy was horrible. There was problems with diesel, gasoline, with fuel, with everything, and nobody wanted to take the cars out. There was a problem with you getting a spare tire. Nobody had money. And now everybody's like, where the hell are the public buses? And I am still struggling right now in my community because we don't have public transportation in my community. Now, if you don't have public transportation, it's like your body has blood, it has the heart is working, everything is working, but then when the blood is going to move, the blood goes, I'm sorry, I'm not liquid, I'm not here. It's like it becomes a ghost. I can see the buses in certain areas and they work, but let's say that I go to another community, they have buses that go every 20 minutes, and then you go kind of like, okay, so I have options. And it is like 6 p.m. and they still have transportation. In mine, it's like, oh, it's noon. The next bus is probably going to be at 3 p.m. And it might be the last bus. And then you go kind of like, because the blood is there, but the blood goes, I don't know where to go. Do I go up or down or left or right, or do I stay here and nothing moves? And so I have issues because of that. If I would have known this 20 years ago, oh hell no, I would have taken at least 1,000 people and signed petitions and make it happen. I do not care. I will make all of my neighbors go, I don't care if you have 5 cars. I don't care. I can give a damn. But oh hell no, sign this thing because we need it. Because it takes at least 5 years to create more. To just take more buses and things like this. And now it's insane. Because no public transportation means you have no choices. In Florida right now, in the United States, in Florida, there is a guy that is buying all private land just to build a railroad that will connect all small towns and blah, blah, blah. And it's going to take him 25 years at least to set up that transportation system. I think that he is now in year 15 or 20 or something like that. But the point is, that rich guy is spending everything that he has and everything that he doesn't have into this project. Guess what happens when 5 years from now, you are in Florida and now all of the population goes, oh, we don't have power in this place. Oh, We don't have fuel in this place. We don't have cars in this place. Where the hell do you think people are going to stop, caring about going shopping or going to your grandma's or going to another place or going to the mall or whatever it is? People still need to move. Transportation is the number one investment that you want to make in any single place in the entire freaking planet, and your money is never going to go down the drain. Because people need to move. Period. They need to move. It's an essential thing. It's just as much as breathing, as sleeping. You need to move. You need delivery services. And the thing is that people, if you don't move people because it is too expensive to move, the economy will be worse than China. And then you go kind of like, what the hell? China is having all kinds of problems because now everything is online. And because of that, people are not going out. If you don't go out, the malls die. If the mall dies, then you have bigger problems. Because during hard times, guess what happens? The malls are key points. The malls is, if you have a mall, it's like you have a star filled with water in the middle of a hot day that it is dark. So you have the two things that everybody wants, which is electricity and being cool, and services like water inside the mall. So even in China, the economy sucks, but people still go to the freaking McDonald's or a freaking mall just because they want to feel the air conditioner and just because they want to sit and share with other people. Because you being in your house will drive you completely crazy and insane. And at the same time, if you don't have money, it will make you feel even worse. And so you need transportation. And if you don't have public transportation near your community, or you have no idea how it works and it doesn't exist, then your community will go down the drain and nobody will want to live in there. Because if you getting out of your house is going to cost you $200, will you pay it? I mean, if you're rich, of course you're going to pay it. But if you are a regular people that are making, I don't know, let's say that you're making $5 per hour, do you honest to God are going to pay $200 to get out of your house when you're making $5 per hour by working? So you need public transportation, because the public transportation can take you out of your house. You can go to the mall when there is no power, like I do, or you can go and just go there when there is no water, and at least you can wash your hands in the middle of, the mall. And you can go and meet people. And even if it costs you $2 to just buy a freaking Coke, you will do it at the mall. And you might not go there for shopping everything, but at least you go there to meet people and be out and feel that there is some sort of normalcy. But what happens when there is no transportation? If there is no transportation, people will just digress. As in, instead of evolving, going up and getting better, you will shut down. You will become with more anxiety, more depression. You will become sicker. You will become more dependent upon a lot of things. You will be disconnected from other people. And here is what happens when you get disconnected from other people. You might be thinking, okay, so I'm happy because I'm not with other people. Okay, you should stop immediately, because here is what happens. When you are a person like me or everybody else that does not get human touch, and I'm not talking about you grabbing people, everybody else. No. I'm talking about you feeling down and just getting a hug from your friend, getting a hug from your mom, getting a hug from your brothers, your sisters, your partner. You need that, because that will release all of your hormones immediately, and you will face everything and you will be okay. However, the study proves that even in animals, like primates, like monkeys, when the monkeys do not get the grooming process, when the monkeys don't get the hug from their mothers, when the monkeys don't get that, then they are aggressive. They don't recognize hierarchies, which make them even worse. They become violent. They don't eat. They become anxious. They live less. They have all kinds of issues. And all of this is because people don't get in touch with other people. And why don't you get in touch with other people? Because transportation is too expensive or nearly impossible. However, let's say that you have teens and your teens can go to their grandmother's house, or they can go out with their neighbors to the park. They can go to the mall and meet people. Even if you're thinking, but I'm anxious. Yeah, I know. There are a lot of things, including bullying and a lot of other things out there. But I'm talking about the fact that you need to have some sort of balance at this point. You cannot be all the time out, but you cannot be all the time inside either. So you need options. And I am not talking about, you spending everything in this thing, because I have friends that are the complete opposite of me. I can stay home all the time and read, and I probably don't care. But I'm okay with that. However, even me, I go kind of like I need to talk to my friends, or I need to go out. And so I have a dog, and I have my garden. And there is a lot of people that go insane because they live in apartments and they go, I don't have anything. I don't. And then when that happens, people go down to the pool area or to the gathering area within the buildings. At least you have that to meet people. But still, that doesn't give you the choice of you going out and meet your actual friends, the one that you want to make. If I wanted to go and be with my best friend, I need to travel at least 1 hour. And if I wanted to do that in a car, it will be easy. And in fact, I did that. I used to travel every single week, an average of 1,000 miles. I'm not joking. You would put the metrics in my car and I would drive 1,000 miles because my best friend was 1.5 hours away from me. And I used to go to her house sometimes 3 and sometimes 4 times in a day, in a single day. And that is because I could. However, the second in which we had a lot of issues, I didn't have a car, and blah, blah, blah. And then it was like, I need to see my friend. But now it's going to cost me $200. I was devastated. And my depression went insane. Because I couldn't go see my grandmother at the cemetery. I used to go at least once a month to the cemetery to just say to my grandmother, hey, grandma, and talk to her and scream and then just be with her. But now there is no public transportation that will take me to the cemetery. There is no public transportation that is stable and okay about me going to the mall. I can do it, but certain hours, and even then, now it's becoming less and less and less. There was a study that proved that my city had 4,000 buses 10 years ago. And now there are less than 400. And so now that is a problem. That is an extremely high problem for me and for my friends and for everybody else. I have a best friend here. She lives 20 minutes from me. If I was in a car, I could just go there in 20 minutes. But going there in a taxi is going to cost me at least $20 going in and returning. So $40. So if I want to just go and meet her, it's going to be $40. And for her, it is the same. She doesn't have $40, and I don't have $40 to go and meet her, once a week or whatever it is. And then you go kind of like, yeah, but you can call her. No, it's not the same. If you are thinking that you can just call her, no, it's not the same. No, it's not the same. But it's not the same. And so I would have talked to all of my friends, and I would have done a lot, if possible, to change that situation. And I would have changed a lot of things. Number two, continuing with the situations that I would have changed or I would have considered and all, I would have, talked to about with myself as a teen. I would have been like, you are here, I'm here, and I am your future you, and I am telling you, go and get that freaking politician and go and get that signature and go get 400,000 buses so that we can go and meet people and get out and then have options and oh my god, and not be stressed out, okay? Because I'm not going to spend $40, okay? So please just do it. And anyway, I would have said also to myself, like, oh, are you insane? What the hell? Build that thing. I'm talking about the water tanks. So everybody, when my father built the underground water tank that we have, everyone in my community was looking at him, and I'm talking like literally like like 40 years ago when I was a child. My father was building an underground water tank, and everybody was just looking at him like, that kind of look that you go kind of like, you are wasting money, what the hell, are you bored or something like this? And so I was just kind of like, yeah, an underground water tank is not enough. You need a roof one, at least one roof one for each and every single bathroom and for every single kitchen that we have. I have two in my house, one for the residents and one for me. So, oh hell, I need water that doesn't depend upon electricity, meaning for the water pump, so that I can pull it up, because otherwise I will have to do it by hand, and I will have to dig it up with buckets and ropes and buckets and ropes, and oh my god, oh hell no, just get a freaking roof one, and that way it will go with gravity and I will not have to depend upon electricity to get the freaking water. And then I will also be complaining kind of like, oh my god, and you need more bathroom ground tanks, especially for the toilets, because otherwise, oh my god, if I would have known that I would be spending literally 1/5, at least 1/5 of my time on a daily basis just getting water. And I'm not in the worst situation, okay? Because I have friends that are spending literally 1/3 of their time daily to get water. Me, I do that, like I said, 1/5, and it's just 3 times or sometimes 4 times per week. But at least I get, one day that I can take a shower and I can be okay. But my friends go, oh hell no, you have taken a shower. I didn't have any kind of water in my house. I have not seen a single drop of water in over 3 years. And then I go, what the? And they don't even have water tanks. And so now you have no idea how horrible your life is when you have no water. And now let's go, back forward. When we had the national power outage, it was beyond insane. We were the only house that had water in the 2 blocks that is my small area. In 2 blocks that way, 2 blocks this way, and 2 blocks that way, and 2 blocks that way, I was the only one that had water. Except for one guy that had another one that he had fuel and all of that, and he was, he had another thing. But the one that had water stored was me. And it was because my father was insane. Thank God. Because otherwise, if my father was normal, oh hell no. I swear I have no idea how the hell I will have managed. I swear I would have probably screamed, cried, and sell this thing, and that one will be a deal breaker. I swear that one will be a deal breaker. If you go to a house and that doesn't have water tanks, I go, this is a deal breaker. Oh, hell no, I'm leaving. No. I mean, you can fight. I swear, you can fight mosquitoes. You can fight, floods, fires. You can fight everything. But you fighting not having water, or you having to go and get buckets so that you can get water. Oh. I swear, I can't think about anything that will make you feel more miserable. Not even not having money. If you're making me choose between not having money and not having water, oh hell no, I would rather have, water and no money. Because, oh hell no. And you're thinking, I can buy the things with money. Okay, so I live in Venezuela. Therefore, we have issues with fuels and all of that, and blah, 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 because we destroy the economy, the infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. But when we had the national power outage, we were exchanging, and I'm not joking, 1 per 1. As in, you get 1 liter of gasoline, diesel, or fuel, or whatever you want to call it, for your car, for your generator, for whatever it is. You get 1 liter of potable, not dirty, potable water. That was the exchange rate, 1 to 1. In the Middle East, they produce fuel and they have issues with water. And I swear I had to read several times this thing, because I was like, I can't, no, hell. I swear, if I was a man in there, I will take my family overnight, and I swear I will probably just, if my woman goes crazy and says, oh, I'm not leaving, oh, hell no, I'm knocking you out and I'm taking you. I'm leaving with you, on my back. And the kids, I'm just pulling them with a rope, and I am taking you, and we are leaving. Because the price was 25 to 1. 25 to 1. Let me repeat that. You need 25 liters, as in 6 gallons or 4 gallons, 5 gallons, whatever it is, gallons, 4, 5 gallons of diesel, gasoline, so that you can get 1 quart of water. And it's not even potable water. It's just water that you probably have to filter, and you probably have to, treat it, because you don't even know if it is actual water. 25 to 1. Now, if you have a woman, she needs 5 of those. That means 125 liters of diesel. Do you have any idea how much space that takes, and how much money that will cost you, and the storage problems that you will have to just find that amount of fuel for you to get the water just for 1 woman in your house? That doesn't include you, the kids, or cooking. I swear, if I was a man, like I said, I'm just taking you out and we're leaving. I can give a damn. I'm just taking, we are borrowing 1 liter and then we're leaving. And we're sharing that liter, and I do not care. We're walking. We're walking and we're leaving. We're going to become refugees. Refugees have a better chance of getting water than we do. Because how the hell are you going to pay 25 to 1? So, you don't want to be in that situation. You want to have in your house. If I was a teen, I will go, hey, build this freaking thing in your house. I don't care. Just I'm grabbing you by the neck. You are building this thing. Get the freaking roof tanks that go directly towards your bathroom, directly towards your kitchen. And go get the underground and go get the ground water tanks. The 3 systems. And get them. I don't care about anything else. Just get them. Period. I don't care how much they cost. Just get them. Because no water in your house means misery. 100% certainty. 100% no chance of you being wrong. No, there isn't even a doubt. You will be miserable. And your wife is going to be worse if you have issues with water. And so, hell no. Fix that problem before it starts. Before. Not when you have the problem, because that way, if you don't have a water tank right now, it's going to cost you probably, I don't know, let's say $300 or $400 or $600. But if everybody else is now building this thing into the house, it's going to cost you $5,000. So now it's impossible. So it's like, okay, so the people outside are paying 25 to 1, and then you want to build a water tank so that you can hold what? Air? Because what are you going to do? So hell no. First, water that works without pressure, without water, without electricity. Therefore, roof. That one you won't be able to measure, but at least you can manage. And at least you will be able to be like, okay, so there is no electricity, therefore there is no water pump. If there is no water pump, oh my God, my poor back. Kind of like that. But no, just open the one that goes with gravity. Easy. No problem. See what I mean? I'm happy. I'm relaxed. Because I don't have to work for that thing. Am I worried? Yes. But am I going to be dead and I'm going to be like exploding every single second? No. Because at least I can manage. I can ration it. I can exchange it. I can do a lot of things because I have the structure. So build the freaking structure. If I wanted to build that thing right now in my house, it's going to be nearly impossible because I can't afford it at this second. But I will be able to afford it later, and I will probably invest in that thing. So, another thing that you want to have is fire management. Fire management means in the community, you need a plan. Because if your neighbors is parking the car in the wrong place, that means that your house is going to catch fire. Then you're thinking, what? Yeah. So call the fire department. Call the fire department. And this means brief war with your neighbors. And then you go, what? I have seen and I have read a lot of stories of people that go and say, hey, here's the fire department. They are going to give us a talk about, all the issues that are related to fire. They're going to help us out, blah, blah, blah. And then about half of your people will go, what the hell? And then they will hate you. And then you will, I just don't want your house to catch fire. What do you mean? I can't park my car there. I park my car wherever the hell I want. Sir, if you park your car in there, there is going to be a fire. Or the probability of catching fire, and then if there is fire season, blah, 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 you know nothing. I'm the fire department. I don't care if you're the fire department. Blah, 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 blah. Oh. Politicians. That's why you pay them. For them to handle the dirty work that you don't want to handle with your own neighbors. because quite frankly, it's insane. The whole situation with the fire is insane. So you need community integration for this one. If your neighbor doesn't want to cut down the tree, that it is a problem because it's a fire hazard, it's a problem. If your neighbor doesn't want to have this, it's a problem. If you don't want to do this for the sake of the community, it's also a problem. In California, there were people that inside their communities had the fire department give them a talk about where to park the cars, where not to park, where to plant certain trees, where not to plant this thing. And then this area, a small area, the fire was this big, but there was an area that was this small, and it didn't catch fire. Reason being, the fire department told these people how the hell to prevent the fires from spreading. And so these people had no problem. The fires were roaming, and there are even videos of YouTubers that were inside their houses. And the fire was literally meters away from them, and the fires did not catch their house. Why? Because they had the fire department working with them before problems. Therefore, talk to the fire department for prevention. Talk to them and talk to your community and make them understand that the fire department is there to help you. It is not there to tell you about your property or make you be in a certain way, whatever it is, because, you know, it means war. In certain communities, I swear, it means war. In others, people are like, somebody goes and says, hey, if we don't do this, we're all dead. And then everybody goes, oh, hell no, we're doing it. See what I mean? Because they have a somebody who is scary enough, and then, everybody just act on it. But otherwise, it will go insane. And therefore, you need integration with the community to manage the fires. Now, I'm telling you that one because when I was a teen, I swear, terror movies for us were like, fire? Oh my God, it's the end of the world. We were like that. I swear. Because no one in my circle, my family, my friends, the school, no one. If we mention a fire, it was like, somebody was responsible for that. We're going to, it was like a whole topic, national news. Somebody created a fire, and it was like, everybody was like, what the hell, is that person insane? Blah, blah. And then it was like the very big deal. It was like, oh my God. It was kind of like Venezuelans going to Chile. And then we go, there is an earthquake. Oh my God, we're going to be dead. And the Chileans are just looking at us kind of like, oh no, it's just a seventh thing. What the hell? I'm going to bed. So, no, hell no. Your culture will be completely different. And depending upon where you are, and depending upon on a lot of things, you will react differently. But fires, after Chavez came to power, it was like, there is a fire. Then every 3 months there is another fire. And then everybody was like, people were having anxiety and panic attacks. Because people were like, fire. And then it was like on a monthly basis. And then people were like, oh my God, another fire, what the hell? And then it was a weekly basis. And right now it's still a weekly basis. So we went from like never to like once or twice per year, and then every 3 months or something, and then every other month, and then every month, and then now it's every week. So if you're going to go to one fire every single week, and you will see burning, apartments through the videos in which you cannot see the red coming out of the windows on these buildings. Again, you need water tanks. And again, you need fire management, fire prevention, fire management, fire equipment, fire everything. If you don't, oh hell, I had a fire in my house. And it has been insane. I am kind of traumatized because of that one. So, that's no joke. Water, that's a topic of another freaking level. Like, oh hell, it's like the multi-dimensional universe thing, and it's like the only thing that is common is like, what the hell, everybody has that one. Fires, it's like, you're lucky, you didn't have that one. But water, it's 100 out of 100. So, water, then fire. Then the next one is going to be security. You need something that will block your doors without keys. So there are a lot of videos of another YouTubers that are specialists or passionate about this topic, and they will help you out with that one. But I found a very cool solution, and it's about $45-50, and I need 3 for the 3 doors in my house. So I need $150 in an Amazon gift card from some, I will collect them, or somehow I will make it so that I can fix this problem. But you need to figure out how you're going to solve this problem in terms of security without keys. And you need locks that work without keys. You need to secure doors without keys. And then you go, when you're in hard times, you will understand what that means. Because you're in hard times, you lose your wallet, you will have it stolen or broken or whatever. Now you don't have keys. Okay, how the hell do you lock the door when you don't have keys? Fix that problem. Fix that problem somehow. You need to secure your house without keys. Period. Do it wherever the hell you want to do it, how you want to do it, with the system that you have, whatever it is, just get it. And you need alarms that work without sound. Then you go, you need alarms that work without internet and without sound. Then you go, again, there are a lot of YouTubers that will show you how to do that one, because it will depend upon your house, your apartment, your regulations, your place, the materials that you have available. They will depend upon so many things, and you need a special video for that one. So I don't have a particular YouTuber that I want to recommend or something like this, because it will depend upon your own thing. But figure out how you are going to get alarm systems that will not depend upon internet and will not necessarily create a sound. Then you go, figure this one out on your own. And you need aldabas. Then you go, what the hell is that? That is the thing in the door that you go, boom, boom, boom. It is like it moves, boom, 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 so that people can tell you that they are in the front of your house. Because if there is no power, your ring bell, the one that you press, will not work. And here is what happens. People will go, as in thieves, or whatever it is. When they see that nobody answers, Ding, ding. However, if you have one of those things that goes boom, 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 everyone, including, your neighbors, will know that there is a knocking sound. Dun, dun, dun. And because there is a sound, all of the neighbors will know. And there will be people that will go, oh, I think that my neighbor is there, or I think that my neighbor... And there will be people that will just look, that are always curious, so whatever it is. Therefore, you have choices, and it's better system. So you need to have several systems to have people notify you that they are at the door. You want to have the ring bell, ding, ding. You also want to have something that will allow you to see who or what the hell is in front of your door. You don't want to open the door just because. Oh hell, I have seen people that say, oh, I opened the door one time at 3 in the morning and now I have a ghost in my house. Yeah, try to kick them out. The worst part is that they don't pay rent, but they will create all kind of problems for you. And you don't want to deal with a situation like that just because you didn't have something to see in your doors. So, things to see through your door, things to make noises through your door, and the ring bell for your door, and the security thing that will lock it out without having the key. Okay? Extremely important, because otherwise you might go insane. Of course, that thing is not going to stop a ghost. Especially if you are the one who opens the door at 3 in the morning. So no, don't open the door at 3 in the morning, okay? Just check. And if you see that it is a ghost, just tell them to move next door or move to the person that you don't want them to be with, or whatever it is. But if it is your grandmother or somebody like that, and then you go, oh hell no, then you open the door. If it was my grandmother, I will probably go, hey, grandma, welcome home. And I will probably be happy about it. But if not, then, you gotta figure this one out. And so, that one was my advice. And then I will tell you later, all of that. And hopefully this will not take 3 or 4 or 5 or a week to upload. I have no idea. But, just... bear with me, okay? I'm okay, but like I said, not sure how I'm going to handle this one. And when I do, I'll let you know.